This episode of Film Riot is brought to you by Domain.com.
Today on Film Riot, I'm in a hotel room on the other side of the planet with my voice mostly gone. Welcome to Film Riot, the show that takes the mystery out of the effects, techniques, going to step how the hell. I'm your host, who doesn't have much of a voice, Ryan Conley. And as I said, I'm on the other side of the planet. I think I said that already. I don't know if I said that already, actually. I might not have. My voice sounds crazy. It's kind of sexy, in a way, actually. But I'm in a hotel in Australia, upside down, compared to where I usually am. And it's summer where I live. Summer here, winter where I live. I'm backwards, man. I don't even know what freaking day it is. I think I'm in a day advanced from what I usually am. It's a mind F, but this has nothing to do with anything. I'm here in Australia doing something with my friends at Riot, shooting something with them, which has been a lot of fun. If you're curious as what that looks like, you can check it out on my Instagram. I posted some stuff there, but I'm actually hosting something for them with no voice. So it's been interesting. But since I got sick and lost my voice, I was sick right before we left, so we didn't have time to shoot some episodes in advance. We got some of the Monday's episodes done, but this Thursday and next Thursday episode we didn't have done, so I decided to do something that I've been wanting to do for a while. That's ask you guys to send in some of your work for me to take a look at and then show on the show and then critique on the show. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a look at a few of them and talk about them, the good and the bad. But again, before I show your work and then talk about it, keep in mind that these are my opinions. There are some fast and true technical things that they're just true no matter what. But when it comes to creativity, it's all a matter of opinion. If somebody gives you a note on a piece of work and it just doesn't sit well with your gut and you're being objective, there's no ego involved, I would usually say go with your gut. Because, I mean, the worst thing that could happen with not taking their advice, if it's just a short film where you're practicing and trying, is, okay, it didn't work and you're going to learn from that. The worst thing that's going to happen if you do take their advice against your gut is maybe you miss out on something pretty special that was different and creative that you could see, but they weren't quite seeing what you were trying to do. So always keep that in mind as well. Take all notes to heart, but in the end, go with your gut if it's really telling you that's what the story wants to do. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get to the first one. So not so much of a short film as kind of a test of an action scene and a visual effect, which I said in the piece that said any kind of work doesn't have to be a short film. And what I really liked about this was the style. Really good camera work, really good pacing. It felt very exciting. The VFX looked amazing. I had two main issues. One, it started out with really no footstep sound effects. If we would have hit in with some hard footstep sound effects with that run, that would have felt 10 times more excited and really would have slammed us into the piece. The other thing is this, the shirt with the dried blood. I mean, we all know what dried blood looks like on a shirt, and it doesn't look like that. We all know what, well, all of us low-budget filmmakers know what cheap store-bought fake blood looks like dried on a shirt, and it's exactly that. It turns that pink color. So if you're doing a comedy, you could totally get away with that. Who cares? Nobody's going to care. But if you're doing something serious and you've got pink dried dots on your shirt, that's totally taking me out of your moment that you otherwise built fantastically. So it's little things like that that can really hurt an otherwise fantastic piece, which is a bummer because that's a really easy fixing thing to get around. Just make sure those are dark spots. Make sure it looks like actual dried blood. Otherwise, great work. I wish it was punctuated at the end somehow with something to really tie it all up, but I thought solid overall. Now, let's move on to the next one.
Yeah. Booze, beers, and beans, bro! Essentials to any good camping trip.
So where's this place at again?
Redwood National Park. A gajillion acres, nothing but pine trees and fresh air.
All right, let's hit the road!
What started out as a good day turned into a dead stop.
We don't have any change, bro. Hey, I said we don't have any change. Get out of here. Jeez.
That was creepy.
From the guys who watched ATM, Phone Booth, and Tangled.
Can this light take any longer?
Let's get a move on.
Light's red, Tito. What do you want me to do?
This Groundhog's Day.
What does he want with us?
I just want to be home. I just want to be home.
Just leave us alone! When's it gonna turn green? How are you doing? This is my mom's car! Tito!
Stoplight.
I thought this one was perfect to show because it was what I thought a really funny idea with a lot of really good execution, but a lot of little things that could have been tweaked to make the whole thing come together a lot stronger. And I'm actually going to play this and watch it while I talk about it because there was a lot to talk about, so we'll do it all together. So first you got the kids coming down the stairs and everything, that typical college making fun of horror movie type thing. And then we have some really slow pacing right here. Slow getting into the car, then a strange almost jump cut. Now we cut to this shot, which should have been tightened. All these shots should be happening faster. Cut them faster. And then we're missing a shot here. To cut from that shot to that shot was a bit odd. I would have cut to maybe a side shot, have him go reach for the thing, then cut inside and cut on action to make it feel more movement. With that car shot, again, I would have trimmed the start and finish of that. Just have it swipe right past the car, cut to the pan up. So it's a lot of pacing issues, which is usually the critique that I have for people when they send something in. It's a lot about your pacing. It's all playing too slow. You're just holding those cuts too long. Instead of cutting back into the car, then your character says his line. Let's be looking at the title and let's hear your character start to say the line. Now let's come into the car. Then when we get into the more actiony moments, I would have liked to hear some music that was elevating it all a little bit more, bit by bit, making it feel like it's taking it to that next level and that next level, letting the cutting also follow suit with that. It did it to some extent, but I would have liked to push it just a bit more. Other than that, I thought this was a hilarious idea that I think you executed on very well, but with those little tweaks, like with the pacing, not being precious with it. I mean, this was about two and a half minutes long. Cut it down to 2 minutes long, and you would have an extremely solid piece on your hand, I think. Moving on again.
As part of a previously mentioned required test protocol, we can no longer lie to you. You will be baked, and then there will be cake. Thank you for participating. All Aperture technologies remain safely operational up to 4,000 degrees Kelvin. Goodbye. What are you doing? Go back to the recovery annex for your cake. Quitting at this point is a perfectly reasonable response. We are pleased that you made it through the final challenge, where we pretended we were going to murder you. Please note that any appearance of danger is merely a device to enhance your testing experience. Are you trying to escape? I understand. I haven't told you everything. I'm going to be honest with you now. The results auditor isn't recording your test results. curious about the science? If you are wondering what happened, I flooded the enrichment center with a deadly neurotoxin. It was part of an initiative to investigate how test subjects react when locked in a room with deadly neurotoxin. Apparently, contact with it causes heart failure. But how is this even science, without the possibility of death?
Ladies and gentlemen, at this part of the lecture, we are going to discuss the Black Mesa proposal versus Aperture proposal. As you can see, we've highlighted some very specific bullet points. Let's start with Black Mesa. Costly. Overpaid personnel, limited skills and ambition. $10 billion annually. We move on. Here at Aperture, we'd like to present to you our genetic lifeform and disk operating system. We call her GLaDOS. She's alive and practically human. We're at the frontier of AI technology, and GLaDOS, she's gonna be our pride and joy of Aperture. She's highly intelligent. I wanna say close to human as you can get.
So first of all, this has like a crap load of views. I think it's like over 500,000 views on YouTube. So congratulations for that. I mean, you found an audience, and that's the whole point, isn't it? We make this thing to find an audience and entertain us, and you did that. So well done. Don't let anything that I have to say affect that in any way, although I don't really have much bad to say about it. I thought you guys did a great job. I really liked it. Front to back, I thought it was well paced for the most part. Great VFX. Interesting story. I mean, I haven't really played the Portal game that much. I know that's shocking, but I completely followed all of it. I'm sure there's fan service there that I wasn't 100% getting, but I dug it. I dug it a lot. There were a few things that I thought of while watching it, so we'll talk about that right now. First of all is in that opening hook, that, let's call it Act 1. Act 1 felt like we moved into Act 2 already. So you have that first orangish type fiery bit, and then it switches to that more blue bit once she comes out of the door. Well, that felt like an act break to me within this short film, which threw me off a little bit when we cut to the actual act break of going back in time. And when that happens, as we're going from all that action and me already getting an act break, thinking I'm in the new bit, when we cut to the actual middle meat of the story, it felt like a brick wall. I just came to a complete halt, and it took me a little bit to get back into it. If that whole hook would have just felt like one continuous piece and there was no break, I don't think that would have been that same issue. I also wasn't really big on that transition to negative color when she's running in slow motion. I thought that kind of had a break in an otherwise really solid style that you guys built for the beginning, but that might just be a taste thing. So overall, I thought there was a lot of really good work there. You guys definitely are filmmakers. Keep going. You guys are going to do some amazing stuff for sure. And thank you to everyone who sent stuff in. Obviously, we couldn't show everything, but I really enjoyed watching all this stuff and picked some stuff to critique. And I think we're definitely going to do this again because I thought it was a lot of fun. So thank you again to everybody. And thank you to the people who let me critique their stuff. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna pass out.
If you're a budding filmmaker, entrepreneur, innovator, or just generally want to make a website, Domain.com is the place to go when you have your next great idea. You've heard it here before. Domain.com makes it easy to get your website up and running, blog, create a website, show off your portfolio, make a drug cartel. Domain.com is affordable and reliable and easy to use. The guys over at Domain.com want to hook you up with 15% off their already affordable prices by using the coupon code FilmRiot at checkout. So when you think domain names, think Domain.com. And don't forget, you could make a drug cartel from using Domain.com.
Drug cartel. Domain does not support drug cartels.
I'm not saying to make a drug cartel. I'm saying they could if they wanted to.
Oh my gosh.
Logo.
So that's it for today, and thank you to everyone who sent something in, and thank you to the people who let me critique their stuff for the world to see and hopefully maybe learn something from. But remember what I said in the beginning, this is my opinion. Take it or leave it. You know, make sure you're objective about your own work. Take what people have to say about it, chew on it, and if it doesn't taste good, spit that crap back out, baby. You know what I mean? Be your own filmmaker. But that's it. It's time for me to try to get some sleep and to down a ton of tea to try to do something about this freaking voice. And then I'll be back in the States again and we'll get back to Film Riot Madness. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to roll this way because I'm actually on a chair.